Oh man, dude. Okay. Okay. This game is swear sometimes. No! Oh, fucking right and why? What's up, guys? This is Seven coming at you with, oddly enough, a Genshin Impact video. It's actually something new, for the channel. So I will actually go ahead and say that, if this is something that interests you, feel free to, comment, subscribe, and definitely tell me your opinions on what it is I'm doing here, because it's actually been quite a while since I've actually played this game. I'm actually originally a 1.0 player who played back when the game first came out, and I've only recently returned. And I definitely don't mind actually sharing the massive amounts of information that I've actually learned upon returning, because I was just, sort of a player that just played the game, but obviously things have changed like a lot, and, there's a lot more information available now. As there's just so much that, I want to be able to go ahead and share. I could literally go on for hours, but without wasting time and to go ahead and get traction, we'll actually go ahead and get started with just a few basic tips that you may or may not have heard. But nonetheless, these are very important to actually making progress on your account, making sure that the characters that you do use, uh, that that they're in a really good position, and that you aren't basically messing up and making the same mistakes that I made, because I'm still in the process of fixing my account. And I've been making like a good amount of progress. It could be so much better, but I'm not struggling anywhere near as much as I used to. As I've made it to AR 50 and everything. I've I've been making a lot of progress. But pretty much, along the way, I've learned a lot of things, and I will go ahead and say, uh, you know, that there's a lot to actually go on that goes on here, even though it doesn't seem like it. So the first tip that I would say is, whenever you find a character that you like, if they're your like favorite, don't like go after the meta, because the meta is not going to really do anything for you. If you like a character and you like how they work, just play them. Play that character. And more specifically, focus on one character at a time, or like at a max, like maybe two at a time. But I would definitely find like a main DPS, the main one that you want on the field at all times, dealing all the damage and doing everything. And then just sort of have a team that's like built around them, or like built to support them in specifics. So that way you don't really have anywhere near as many problems. Because when you're first starting the game, your resources are really limited. So you really have to be careful with where you're putting them. You can't just really go around willy-nilly leveling up every character, and then instead of having like one level 60 and a couple like level 40s, you'll just have a whole bunch of level 20s, and then not have any idea, what's going on, or what you'd be able to do. So, definitely try to find a character, because that one character that's like your main DPS is not going to carry you all the way through the game, unless, like, I guess you're wailing. But, even then, like, I'd say find like a group, and then make sure that that group is like tailored to like what your character wants to be able to do. So I definitely stress focusing on one character when you first start, because your resources are limited and you don't want to hit a roadblock. And that being said, also, again, as someone who's started the game back in like 1.x, like in 1.0, like, things were a little difficult, but nowadays, like, it's so much easier to level through. So I definitely say be careful how fast you level, because leveling too fast will actually make it get to the point where you actually are, going to get outpaced, and then you're not going to be able to deal with the enemies. In the open world, because as you're going through your adventure ranks, you actually do get a world level, And if that world level gets too high and you're not able to keep up with it, you're gonna have a lot of problems. Like I have a friend of mine, that's what he did. He unfortunately like leveled up a bit too fast, and now he's struggling. But luckily, even if that does happen, or if you do, spread yourself too thin, it's not like it's the end of the world. You will have a lot of work to do in order to get your account like back in like I guess a good like setting, just to make sure that everything's pretty much good and set to go. In regards to that, though, it'd be better to just avoid it and not have to do that, and just have good characters and a good team that's set up, because there's a lot of like characters that you get, and a lot of them are really good. It's just a matter of making sure that you use them correctly and make sure that you don't waste your resources or put them into characters that you're not going to play. So another thing is to make sure that you do your research and make sure that you actually are going to play the characters that you're going to level, because the last thing you want to do is to realize when you get a character to level 60 that you're not even interested in them, because that's a whole bunch of stuff that you could have put into someone else, or even better, you could have put that into like your main character, and then you would have been like better off. So make sure that you're taking care of that, and everything will be pretty much good and set to go. And don't be afraid, I guess, to like ask for help, because I know asking for help sometimes is something that people really don't want to do. But the community, from what I've heard, is actually pretty decent. I have yet to really interact with too many of them, but online, everyone seems like they're pretty fun to, hang around, Twitch chats and stuff. Like, everyone's pretty fun. But otherwise, I guess, those are like just the basics in regards to that. Make sure that you also know what like your elements are, because at the moment there's 7 like elements. So there's hydro, there's dendro, there's cryo, electro, and pyro. Uh, Basically, you want to make sure that these elements are not like overriding, I guess, each other. There are benefits to having like certain ones, but make sure that you're actually doing the proper combinations. I won't get too much into it because that's like I guess more advanced stuff. But like say for instance you're trying to do like a freeze combo, like obviously you would use cryo and hydro, and if you do that, that's a really good setup because it stops them from moving. Or if you decide to do the big thing at the moment, which is dendro, because I know dendro is like pretty insane at the moment, where you just sort of like throw stuff out and like it just nukes everything in the game as long as you sit there and throw water and electricity at it the whole time. Or if you decide to start combining things, but that's just something for like I guess another time if I decide to go ahead and do something else. Um, Otherwise, I mean, shoot, there's not really much else to say other than make sure that you're actually having fun, and make sure that you're actually making progress. Because I guess that's the biggest thing that I would recommend that you do, because it's gonna be a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's gonna take a while, especially if you're gonna be free to play and not spend like a whole lot of money. Because I mean, I wouldn't even recommend doing that because you don't even have to spend money on the game. I know I don't really spend really any. I used to, but like lately, like when I came back, I literally just started playing for free because they give you so much, and all you have to do is just play the game, and you'd be surprised at how far you could get. You just have to sit there and actually dedicate the time to actually figuring out characters and figuring out their strengths and weaknesses. And they give you a whole bunch of things. All you have to do is just play. Besides that, though, I mean, shoot, just make sure that you have fun. Don't waste your resources. Make sure your account is pretty much in good standing, and I mean, shoot, you'll, you'll find success. Because I know I was in a really bad spot, but like lately, I'm at AR 50 like now. Like I've gotten to a point where I don't really have as many problems as what I used to, because I used to have a whole bunch of characters like kind of leveled all over the place, but then eventually I focused on like getting certain ones up, and I haven't really had anywhere near as many issues as what I used to. And also don't be afraid to like watch videos. Like not only watch videos, but I guess like watch like one or two like streamers like live, and like try to ask them questions because I know that's what I did. And they were able to go ahead and help me in specifics. It was actually Ziox that helped me like fix my account. Like not directly because I know like he has a thing where like he directly like will log into people's accounts and like try to fix them. But just from watching his videos, like I pretty much have a good idea on what I needed to do. And ever since then, I really haven't been having as many problems. And in fact, like I said, like my account has been like in a really good standing. I just have to make sure that I focus and don't lose what I'm doing at the moment. And I really won't have too many issues. But I guess shoot, I'm kind of in a loop here, because it's so nostalgic talking about this game because it's been so long, since I was able to play it, and then I actually got somewhat like good at it. So it's good to be able to share that information like with people. Feel free to I guess shoot, join the community, and have fun with this. I also will be playing Honkai Star Rail because we we have heard supposedly that it's going to come out on 1.1, and I'll probably have guides for it as well. It's going to be very similar to Genshin, but like more Persona like because guess what? Turn based, and I love turn based combat. But I will also probably have some little guides, I guess, for it. But I guess depending on how this does will determine if I actually come out with more content. I accidentally uploaded like I think a video a couple days ago, and it ended up I guess blowing up or whatever. So I guess I decided to do something official. Um, Shoot. I guess in regards to that, I guess that's the only thing that I can really say in regards to that. And then besides that, just make sure everything's pretty much good and set. Otherwise, I guess continue to have fun. Don't really chase the meta, or if you're going to, make sure that that's something that you want. And definitely take your time. Don't try to like rush through. I would say a good stopping point is getting to at least like AR 35 ish and getting to at least Inazuma. Because at that point, you pretty much have access to most, if not all, the things in the game, including the events. Shoot, that's really all that I have. If any suggestions or any comments, definitely go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, I guess, everyone have a good one, and I appreciate you watching.